Hello everyone, we are down to our last pocket page. So this video is going to be page number 7. So I'll put my 7 up here, turn it over and put the 8. And can't believe we're already coming down to the wire here. It's gone by fast for me anyway. So let's get started with these cuts. Flap A is 6 7/8 by 3, and again that's 2 lines before 7. B is 6 7/8 by 7 1/4. C is 7 1/2 by 5. D is 8 5/8 by 4. And E is 6 1/4 by 4. Okay, so let's get these scored. All right, let me put these in order. Here we go. A. Okay, so A, we're gonna have the 3-inch side facing across the top. B, and we're gonna have the 7 1/4 side facing the top. Let me just make sure. Yep, 7 1/4. C, gonna have the 7 1/2 inch side facing the top. D is a pocket, so we're going to start with the long side facing the top, the 8 5/8. And E is going to have, now this is going to be a flap closure. So I'm going to score this in the middle. Let me just get my ruler. I want to score it at 3 1/8. So have the 6 1/4 inch side going across the top, and the middle, I'm just going to put a pencil mark just to be sure, but 3 1/8 is the middle. So that's 2 lines after 3 if you are using your scoreboard. And just to make sure, I'll close that up, and that is smack in the middle. So let me just press this down. Okay, and I will set this aside for a minute. Okay, so let's tape all of our pockets and flaps. Okay, see. And A. All right, I will press this all down. pocket, I'm going to cut before I fold it. So you know the drill. And I like having pockets in these books because then you can put more stuff in there. You're free to make little booklets and photo mats, memorabilia, some maybe brochures. So it's just good to have. And they're easy to do. Okay, so let's bring out the pocket page. And we can start with A. A is a left-hand flap. Okay. So that goes right on the left-hand side. And you can decide if you want a corner around this. I am going to put like a small rounded edge on it. And B is the right-hand flap. I went over top of A so I can make sure that it's lined up the same. And bring it right to the edge. Okay. C is a top flap, and I'm going to have that basically, here we go. So I want this, I'm going to put this underneath, it's going to go on top of this flap, but we're going to tape it down to underneath here. But I want it to land, just making sure it lands just before this. You don't want to go over top of this A flap, which it doesn't. If I go right to the edge, I will have a little bit of room, which is what I want. So, just like to test that out before I glue it down. Okay. So it's going to go right here, and I'm looking left and right. I want to be a little before this flap and before this crease, and I will put it down right here. Okay, and then our pocket goes right here. Let's just take off the bottom tape. Okay, so now this is going to go between this score line and this score line, leaving just a little bit of room, and right to the bottom edge. Okay, so that way this is going to go down, this is going to go over top, and this is going to be over here like that. Okay, looks good. I am going to round, you can round whichever edge you want. I'm going to round this A flap. You can do this before you put it down, but sometimes you need to have it down to see what it looks like. Sometimes it looks better not rounded than others. Okay, so that looks good. Let's get some magnets down. So the first flap, let's see, this is going to close using our book, our E flap. So basically, this is going to go right to the edge of this B flap, and we're going to tape it from here down. That'll go inside, and this will go over. So this book is going to have a magnet in it. Let's do that first. And I believe I'd like to round these corners. So we'll put this magnet in the middle here. And these little booklet closures are really neat. I love them. So that is going to go on top of here, like this, like that. But we still need this and this to be down. So for this B flap, I am going to put one on each end. Let's see, that's gonna land right here and here. Okay. I'll find a frame, but I'm putting this right up here. If your magnets don't have tape on them, just put a piece of score tape on there. Just clean that up. Sticky. Okay. We'll take this off. So I'm going to hold this down, bring this over, flatten it, just so when I press down, it's nice and tight. Okay. And this pocket will lay down once we put our paper behind here. Okay, so that goes like that. Then this flap, I'm going to put down here, and I'm just going to put one in the middle. Back down. There. And then this will be glued down to here, holding that in. So that is good. What we want to do here is the same thing we did on our other pages, but since this one comes awfully close to the edge, you want to mark where you're going to put your tape. So put it where you want to have it. And just what I did is I took the edge of this flap and made it go to the edge of this B flap. And then I'm going to put a little pencil mark underneath. So my opening is over here on the left. I'm going to make a pencil mark just before the edge of this paper. And that is where I will have my tape. Just here to here. It'll have score tape, so it'll be nice, held down tight. And then this will open, and this flap fits right into there. So that's what it'll look like. Okay, so I am going to show you now how I decorated this page. Okay, so this is page 7. And, well, I'm going to mention real quick now that I'm thinking of it. Don't put the pages in here yet. Decorate them, and then we'll put them in at the end. And what you're going to need to do, a lot of these pages are pretty heavy. So I have 3/4 inch tape on these hinges, but I also squiggled across a little line with this glitter glue because this hardens like cement. And that way, when you are flipping back and forth, the glue from the tape won't come undone. I just found that really works on heavy pages. So I do twice the amount of, really make sure it's cemented on there with the 3/8 inch tape and the glue on the hinge. Just thought I'd mention that. I don't know, hopefully you haven't put your pages down yet, but I realized I didn't mention it. So let's see, this goes here. Okay, I took this tag, I did cut around it, it's jig-jaggedy, and I inked it. And then this is the skeleton paper from the Authentique pack. This is from Authentique, and I love the diagonal stripes. That looks really nice. So then this is from my extra Halloween pack. The masks here. Nice wood piece. I just love weathered wood. That goes to this side. So these two match. This is the masks and masks. This came from my extra Halloween pack. So I just made an extra tag booklet. Here's another one. This is Authentique paper on here. And you can put more if you want, whatever you want to put in that pocket. So basically this goes first, then your top flap, open up, put that in and close. And for the pull out, I used bats on this one. And that is it. Page 8 now. It's going to be exciting, so I will see you in just a minute.